Hey, what's up, guys? It's Russo with Backdoor Fantasy Sports, and this is my solo page layout. Jordy is a DNP today. He's not feeling good, so I didn't want to leave you guys hanging. So I threw out a few more picks for the Backdoor Fantasy Sports channel. If you haven't seen yet, Jordy and I both started our own channels. So we've got our solo channels and the main page. It's really helped us out a lot as far as scheduling goes. Been able to get out a lot more content now, and we still work together as well. He's just not available today. So I know he put out some picks on his channel. Both of our solo channels are in the description below if you want to go subscribe to those. And I have plays out as well on mine already. So let's talk about these other plays that I like for today. It's only a 6-game slate, start of March. Hopefully we can start March green. And I was thinking at first, I'm just going to put out like a couple picks because I already have 4 picks out on my channel. But the more I kept looking, there's actually a decent amount of plays that I felt good about. So I got 4 more for you guys. So these are what I'm thinking. I like Brook Lopez in this matchup against Dallas, and I know everyone's on his PRA, and I think that looks good too. And the fantasy score is up a little bit, 21.5 PRA versus 30 fantasy score. I get it, but I want that defensive upside, so I stuck around and waited for the fantasy score, hoping he can get after it tonight. And with Gafford, AD, Lively, all those guys out. Now there is a chance that Milwaukee ends up running some sort of a small ball rotation if they can't keep up with the Mavericks, who are going to inevitably have to probably run a little bit of small ball. I don't know if Dwight Powell's back. We'll take a look in a minute, but either way, I don't think this is like Brook's been playing great. So we're going to go with this fantasy score. I'll break it all down for you in a minute. Going with Keegan Murray, forward for the Sacramento Kings, over 12.5 points assists. We're going to go Mark Williams against the Wizards, 11.5 rebounds. This is going to be a fun one. I think he's absolutely capable. And then going Malik Beasley on a back-to-back. Going to take his full PRA, and I'll explain to you why I'm comfortable with that in just a minute. But if you don't mind, do us a favor, like the video, drop us a comment. We appreciate the support. We're almost to 13,000 subs. So it goes a long way with the algorithm when you guys hook us up with a like or drop us a comment. And we really appreciate the support. I mentioned our solo channels. This is them right here. So if you want to follow mine, it's at JRussoBDFS. And then, I've got a video out for today. And then we got Jordy over here at JordyBDFS, and he's got some picks out as well. So go sub to those. And if you have not signed up for Parlay, Play Better, or Underdog, use code BACKDOOR over there, and they're going to hook you up with awesome sign-up bonuses. And for Parlay Play, you're going to get a month in our premium Discord as well. Just email us at bdfantasysports@gmail.com. We'll get you in the Discord for a month for free. All right. So Brook Lopez, let's talk about it. Let's see if Outlier has his fantasy score on here yet, because that hasn't been here for a decent amount of the morning. So we got to check and see if Outlier has got that fantasy score for us to take a look at yet. Are we up? No, still not yet. So I'm going to break this down manually. So the main thing I like about the fantasy score, obviously, is the defensive upside. So every block and every steal is worth 3 points. So that helps you stack up pretty quick. If you have a player that is good on defense. Turnovers take 1 point away. So you want to make sure that you're not getting too many turnovers and it outweighs the benefit of the blocks and steals. But if we start by looking at Brook Lopez's blocks and steals, he hasn't had a game out of his last 5 where he didn't have at least 1 block or steal. And then let's zoom out a little bit. He's obviously a solid defender. A couple of years back, he was getting 3 blocks a game for this crazy stretch. But the last 10, only a 50% hit rate as far as getting over that 2.5 mark for blocks and steals. But let me just double check. I was going to check on Dwight Powell. So Giannis game time decision, Damian Lillard game time decision. Obviously Bobby Portis. Brook has actually been popping off since Bobby Portis got suspended. It's a bummer he got suspended. It seemed like an honest mistake, but it is what it is. On the Mavericks side, Anthony Davis out, Gafford out, Lively out, Caleb Martin, PJ Washington game time decision. And honestly, I think that Dwight Powell still plays for the Mavericks. I'm not totally sure. I mean, he's not like someone who's on my radar regularly. So if he is, it's probably going to be Dwight Powell versus Brook Lopez, unless they just decide to run some sort of small ball lineup on the Mavericks side of things. But if we look at the head-to-head with defense for Brook, he's only played them, well, this is from last year, so a little bit of a different look, but still had a steal and 2 blocks. And again, these last 5, he's been on kind of his classic, just solid defense style of play. This last game against the Clippers on February 20th, 4 blocks and a steal. That's 15 points right there on fantasy score. So that's halfway to our fantasy score. I'm not saying he's going to go for 5 today, but you get what I'm saying. Like the blocks and steals are the reason we're taking this. So on the 2024 season, he's exceeded 2.5 blocks and steals 52% of the time. So that just goes to what I was saying about his defensive upside. Now let's see what this has looked like with Bobby Portis out, because I haven't even looked at this yet. Okay, so he's literally never had a game without Bobby Portis where he didn't have at least 1 block or steal. This is crazy. Against Detroit, November 13th, 2024, 3 steals, 5 blocks. So he had 24 fantasy score on defensive upside alone. Yeah, pretty wild. So that's the upside we're chasing. And this matchup could prove to be pretty solid since they don't really have any other solid bigs available. Let's look at the matchup for PRA. Actually, before we do, overall, the matchup for steals and blocks as a team, 12th in steals allowed, 11th in blocks allowed. Go to center position, 21st in steals allowed, 6th in blocks allowed. So yeah, fingers crossed. Maybe we can get this done with Brook. He could probably do this on offense alone with the way he's been playing. And he's got a really soft matchup regardless of their bigs being out. Even if they were in, this is soft for centers. 23rd in points allowed, 21st in rebounds allowed, 26th in assists allowed, all to the center position. And let's look at his last 5, how the PRA has been looking. 100% hit rate. Yeah, some of these games were close, like against Miami. Houston, he just barely got it. But against Denver on the 27th, he went for 22 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. And we're going to go back to the 2024 season for the PRA. And we're going to take Bobby Portis out of the equation. See what we're looking at here for PRA. All right, so that game against Detroit, when he went nuts on defense, he also went nuts on scoring and rebounding. But then he went through this 5-game stretch where he was just pretty much under it. Let's see if the minutes correlate. They don't. 41 minutes against the Clippers here, and he didn't get it done. So yeah, this little stretch here wasn't looking good. But if we look at the last 5 without Portis, it's been really solid. And I'm trying to make a little bit of sense here. So there was like a stretch here of games without Portis, and then this 5 is the most recent suspension. This is because you can see there's 18 days in between there. So this is the start of the suspension time, I believe, without Portis. So he kind of, you could say, like, on this stretch, he has 100% hit rate without Portis since he's been most recently suspended. So I feel good about it. He's been kind of a wagon lately, and I just prefer the defense to be attached. Let's take a look at daily grind real quick. They like the PRA that everyone's kind of on right now, over 21.5. And I don't blame you if you want to just take that. I just prefer a little bit of defense attached. And then, so that's a 51.06% odds to hit the over, minus 124. They like his points assists over 15 as well. They like his points over. Do we have anything for blocks and steals? Yeah, they're only showing offense right now for him. So these are kind of your options if you're not wanting to take the fantasy score. Points assists is their favorite to go over, and then they like the PRA, and then they like the points. First quarter points, they have a 50-50 shot going over 3.5. So go with your gut. All right, so Keegan Murray. So this is already kind of, exciting. He's had 4 straight head-to-heads where he's got this done against Houston. His most recent outing, 18 points, 2 assists. And if we look at the minutes, not like a whole lot of correlation as far as like we've got this one game here, from much earlier on, like that's the 2023 season. Actually, this is as well. So this is last year too. So these two right here are from this season, and those were his 2 best outings against them. But still, 4 straight games he's got this done against them. The matchup is tough. Obviously, Houston's solid on defense. 5th in points allowed, 1st in assists allowed. If we bump over to the power forward position, a little bit softer. 8th in points allowed, 6th in assists allowed. Let's take a look at this note here from Outlier. He's exceeded 12.5 points, assists in 7 of his last 8 games on the road. So he's averaging 16.8 points, assists on the road. The main thing I'm excited about here is his scoring, but the assists are just a 1-point bump to attach them there. And he actually has been assisting a little bit more lately. That line's so low because typically it's not a part of his game. But if you look at these last 4 road games, 3 assists, 5 assists, 3 assists, and 2 assists. So a 1-point bump, not bad. I'll absolutely take that. Let's look at the 2024 season. So 64% hit rate on the 2024 season, 35 out of 55 games. And he's kind of been popping off here. I believe he's been getting pretty active from beyond the arc. We'll zoom in here and take a look. So the last 5 games, 32.2 minutes, solid. Just 2 fouls a game, keeping it clean. 47% from the field, 4.8 made buckets a game, 40% from beyond the arc, averaging 2.8 made threes a game. And you look at this last game against Utah, put up 10 threes, cashed 5 of them. So he's capable of doing that. He can get hot. And then the assists, like I said, are a little underrated. 3.2 potential assists a game over this 5-game stretch. And a lot of that just comes down to guys knocking down their shots. But 3.2 potential assists is exactly why we're getting this for only a 1-point bump, because he's not trying to facilitate that much. But I think if I double check the head-to-head, just about every game that he's played them, he's had at least 1 assist. Most recent outing, 2 assists. So, this is basically like taking the points for 1 point higher, but a little bit of a cushion there for the assists. Let's take a look at daily grind. Okay, so they like the points assist as his best play. They have it at a 51.46% odds to hit the over, -127. They also like his points rebounds, 17.5, 50.61% odds to hit the over, -121. And then there's those points at 11.5. I don't blame you if you want to just take that. But they also like his PRA at 18.5. So yeah, just barely, 50.05% odds hit the over, -118. So you have some options there. All right, Mark Williams. This one's one that we don't really have to overthink much. He's playing against the Wizards. Yusuf Nurkic has been out for a couple of games. There's a chance that he comes back today, but why would they risk, giving Nurkic like a ton of minutes if he's been dealing with a little bit of an illness, and they should be able to get this done in general, against the Wizards. LaMelo Ball, also game time decision, still dealing with that right ankle soreness. So his last 5, just 2 out of 5 games. And the rebound chances weren't there in these other games. So he's still very efficient though. In this game against Milwaukee on February 5th, he played 25 minutes. He had 7 rebound chances and grabbed 5 of the 7, and then 9 of 15, and then 5 of 12. And then recently, things have been starting to look like classic Mark Williams. 18 opportunities against Golden State, pulled down 12, and then 29 opportunities against Dallas, who was without all their bigs, and he pulled down 16 of them. If we take a look at the head-to-head, this is actually correlating with the minutes a little bit. So when he played 34 minutes, this is way back when, but on 34 minutes, he pulled down 24 rebounds against Washington. Then, not 34 minutes. That was 34 rebound chances. That's crazy. On 29 minutes, he pulled down 20. Hits almost a minute a rebound in that game back there. And then, 34 minutes, 15. And then you see 19 minutes, still went for 8. 26 minutes went for 8. And then most recently, he played 32 minutes, went for 14. So, yeah, this is just kind of a little bit of a no-brainer. But let's see. Here's a note. He's exceeded 11.5 rebounds in 5 of his last 6 games versus bottom 10 defenses for rebounds allowed. So in games versus defenses who are bottom 10 for rebounds allowed, he's averaging 13.8. So we got a little cushion there. There's just this one game against Milwaukee where he didn't get it done. But yeah, overall as a team, they're 30th in rebounds allowed. I just saw a spider, bro. You guys see me flinch? I'm like, what the? There's a spider crawling on my stuff. And then 28th in rebounds allowed to centers. So yeah, we're not going to overthink this one. I feel good about it. On a 6-game slate, I'm totally fine with putting my trust in Mark Williams today. I'm going to have to pause here and put that little dude outside. So the rebounds and assists they like as the best. So you could take that together, 13.5. Yeah, it's just a 2-point bump. And he's actually can be a little sneaky too. But if he's without LaMelo, that's going to be one of the scorers that he'd typically be dishing it out to. So I still like the rebounds. But if you want to take the rebounds and assists, 52.71% odds hit the over minus 131. They like his points assists over 18.5, 52.14%. They like the points over. They like the PRA over. The rebounds, oddly, they don't like. They've got that 50.39% odds to hit the under. So yeah, you have some options here if you don't want to take Mark Williams. Yeah, they do like his first quarter points over 4 as well. Interesting. They like his points rebounds. So his points are set at 16. His rebounds are set at 11.5. So what's that? 17.5. Did I do that right? No, 16, 27.5, not 17.5. So 27.5 individually, but they're giving you a 0.5 bump, but they still, yeah. So I don't understand why they don't like the rebounds alone, personally. I'm totally comfortable with it. So go with your gut. Let's wrap this up. Malik Beasley. All right. So 63% hit rate on the 2024 season before we tweak anything. Have to take the full PRA because that's what they're giving me. I'm not like opposed to taking the points alone. But yeah, the PRA is, they're kind of limited what you can get for Beasley on Prize Picks at the moment when I was making this slip, but I'm totally comfortable with the PRA because he actually is capable. He's been rebounding a little bit better lately. But yeah, like I said, 63% hit rate on the 2024 season. If we take a look at home games, lately, I think he's been in rhythm, if I remember correctly. So 60% hit rate at home. Now, he is on a back-to-back, but so is Brooklyn. I believe he's on a back-to-back. Let me double-check that. Let's zoom in a little bit. Yeah, so back-to-back, and so is Brooklyn, but his last 2 games, though, you can see 4, 5 rebounds, just a little bit more than you would expect from him. 7 rebounds back here. He's cleared the PRA 3 out of his last 5, and then this one game, one more bucket against the Spurs would have gotten it done. Tough matchup against Brooklyn for the shooting guard position. 9th in points allowed, 1st in rebounds allowed, 10th in assists allowed. Let's look at this over/under real quick. So for the Charlotte and Wizards game, I'll give you guys that one too. 219.5 over under. Charlotte favored by 3.5 playing in Charlotte. And then here's this game against Brooklyn. 216.5, not expecting it to be super high scoring. Detroit is expected to get this done though at a pretty solid rate. 11.5 point spread. Detroit favored to win playing in Detroit. So I think that if they get like a pretty solid lead, I think that Malik will probably just, they'll just let him kind of keep running the show for a little bit. So could actually maybe see a little bit of extended minutes tonight. But he has been just absolutely lights out from beyond the arc. Let's take a look here. So averaging 25.5 minutes, just 1.4 fouls, 48% from the field, 12.4 attempts, and then 49% from beyond the arc, 4.6 made threes a game over the last 5. So this is why I like the points, and I'll take the full PRA as well. But if you wanted to just take the points, I don't blame you. He, what was that? Let's see what that line was at. I don't hate it. So the points alone are at 14.5. He's come close to getting that done. So 4 out of his last 5, he's come close to getting that done on 3-pointers alone. Yeah, because you figure that's 12 just off of what he's been averaging. So yeah, I like a lot of his stuff today, but the full PRA, I'll take it. Let's get back to the PRA, and let's look at this head-to-head. So 4 straight head-to-head matchups, and let's see. These 2 here are from this year. So his first matchup, he went for 18 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist. So in this case, it might, if we're just referencing this game, the points are the play to take instead of the full PRA. But his most recent outing on January 8th, he had 2 rebounds and 5 assists. And then, like we said, he's been rebounding a lot better lately. So I just went ahead and threw it all together, because he's got some games. I mean, like he went for 5 assists last time they matched up. We've seen a matchup before where he went for 6 rebounds. So a 4-point bump to have both rebounds and assists attached. I'm just totally okay with it. And I guess that about covers it. You don't really have to go too hard on this one either. Here's a nice note from Outlier though. He's exceeded 17.5 points, rebounds, and assists in 14 of his last 18 games. So averaging 22.8 PRA over his last 18 games, 78% hit rate. One of these, one more bucket, rebound, or assist would have cashed it. So could very easily be 15 of his last 18 games. And that's still just averaging the 25.8 minutes. Look at that. Over his last 18 games, he's averaging 4.7 made threes. Let me just show you guys something that's pretty awesome in regards to Malik Beasley. We're going to go to his 3-pointers made, and let's just take a look at 2024. I think he's been doing solid with Detroit. Yeah, I mean, look at that, 63% hit rate when the line's at 3.5. So 63% of the time he's had at least 4 threes in a game. So yeah, the points props for Beasley are looking good today. Let's see if Daily Grind agrees with me. They're not feeling the points at 15.5. Excuse me. It's because of a full point bump. So got bumped a little bit. They like his rebounds and assists over 3.5. Does not sound bad at all. Points, rebounds, they like over. Points, assists, they like under. And they're not feeling the full PRA. They have it just slightly favored to the under. 50.3% odds hit the under, minus 118. And yeah, you guys have some options here. Points, rebounds, they do like. Not feeling the rebounds, but yeah, that is pretty wild. 3.5 for rebounds and assists. That's just a really low line for someone who could do that on assists or rebounds alone. But I'll just take the full PRA is what I'm rolling with. So you guys can take whatever you like. If you guys want to check out this app from Daily Grind, you can get 25% off. Just put in code BACKDOOR when you sign up over at dgfantasy.com. They'll let you get 25% off for as long as you want to lock it in, all the way up to a year. And if you want to try this app, Outlier, you can try this one for free, which, by the way, Beasley's 3-pointers are at EV plus play on Outlier. And I totally get why. Was that the case for the PRA as well? No EV plus for PRA. But yeah, sign up through the Outlier link below, and they're going to give you a week just to give this a test run. I know you'll love it. Make sure you really spend a little bit of time during that week getting to know it though, because there is a lot of different settings you can do. But the more you get to know them, they're easy once you spend a little time with it. Yeah, it will help you get a better perspective on the plays that you're thinking about taking. And then if you want to come join our Discord, you can use that parlay play promo. I don't have it pulled up right now, but I'm not going to pull it up just because my computer's already begging. right now with all the stuff I have open. But yeah, you can use the Parlay Play promo, and we'll give you a month in our premium Discord. If you want to just sign up straight up, just go through Patreon. It's in the description below. Sign up through Patreon. Once you've signed up, you actually, if there's a connected apps option in the menu bar, and you'll see Discord in there. You log into your Discord from Patreon, and it'll give you access to the Discord. So yeah, that's going to do it, guys. Appreciate you tuning in. Don't forget to go check out the plays on my channel, plays on Jordy's channel. We got extra plays out already. We really appreciate the support. Good luck on your Saturday slate, and we'll catch you in the next one.